Hello there, kiddos. Today is the day for your terrorism review. Why take the terrorism review? That's a fantastic question. Because if you answer the questions that I'm about to ask you, you get 5 extra points on tomorrow's test. So make sure to write them down in a separate location. Your 2 ORQs were given to you today in class, and I'm going to go over your 35 other questions that are worth 2 points each. So let's let it rip. So first, Islam, founded by what man? You should know that, that's Muhammad. And the key sites in Islam that are the holiest. Number 1, Mecca, the birthplace of Muhammad, and also home of the Kaaba, which in Arabic means cube. And this is a picture of the Great Mosque of Mecca. Holy site number 2 in Islam would be the Mosque of the Prophet, where Muhammad is buried, as well as where he set up an Islamic state. All Muslims must follow the 5 pillars of Islam, which are the equivalent of what in Christianity? The 10, you should know that, the 10 Commandments. In terms of your third holy site, what is this building? Inside there is a rock where Abraham supposedly was going to sacrifice his son Isaac. Secondly, not only what is that building, but in which city is it located? The holiest city in the world to all 3 world religions of Islam, Christianity, and Judaism. To carry on, after Muhammad died and Islam spreads dramatically through the Middle East over the span of 100 years, you are going to see a split between Sunni and Shiite Muslims. The majority of Muslims today are Sunni, about 85% of them. So Saddam Hussein was a Sunni, Osama bin Laden was a Sunni. However, the majority of the Shiites, or what we call Persians, live in Iran. So Iran is like 90% Shiite. Now in terms of how terrorism was born, a lot of people say it started with the Holocaust. So between 1939 and 1945, you have Nazi Germany exterminating 11 million people, 6 million of which were Jews. So this was responsible by the Nazi Party, led by Adolf Hitler, and they offered a final solution to the Jewish question. And you saw anti-Semitism, or hatred against the Jews, at its peak during this time. And after the world saw how horrible that was, in 1948, the United Nations created the country of Israel. This is their flag, the Star of David. But there were people living on that land. So though the UN said it's a land without a people and a people without a land, what people were living on that land that later became known as Israel? Hopefully you said the Palestinians. And the Palestinians, who are Muslim, claim that little by little, each and every year, the Jews take more and more land. The United States aligned itself with Palestine. We made friends with aligned ourselves with Israel, and with that being said, we lost a lot of friends in the Middle East. So we made enemies of all the Muslim countries by aligning ourselves with the Jews. And when the Arab nations could not defeat the Jews in battle, fair and square, they resorted to a thing called terrorism. This was terrorism at what Olympic Games in 1972? This is the Munich Olympics, or also known as the Munich Olympic Massacre by Black September. In 1979, the United States was attacked at its embassy in what foreign country? This thing is. Hopefully you said Iran. Picture's not coming up. So after the 1979 Iran hostage crisis, so this is where you can see Marines being taken captive. President Jimmy Carter couldn't bring them home. And the United States was hit in 1983 by this organization, Hezbollah, at the 1983 Beirut bombing, in which a truck bomber bombed the Marine barracks. So by 1983, America had a full taste of terrorism. Pan Am 103 exploded in midair over Lockerbie, Scotland, killing all those on board, and actually 11 people on the ground, perpetrated by the country of Libya. After the Soviet-Afghan War, though, Osama bin Laden became the leader of Al-Qaeda, which means the base. and he was determined to strike in the heart of America for our friendship with the Jews, as well as our maintaining troops on Muslim lands. And also he believed that we were murdering Muslims around the world. In 1993, Al-Qaeda struck with Ramzi Youssef as he put in a truck bomb in the World Trade Center. It blew up 7 stories at the bottom of that building, and the hunt was on for the tower bomber. Terror had truly come home to hit the United States. Ramzi Youssef was later captured along with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, this handsome fellow right here that everyone loves to see. In 2000, the USS Cole was bombed outside of Yemen in the Gulf of Aden and ripping a 40 by 40 hole in this ship, in the USS Cole. But nothing compared to 9/11. So when it comes to 9/11, think of the 19 hijackers that were in the United States at the time. The majority of them were from Saudi Arabia. And their targets were both the World Trade Centers as well as the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. And the last target was the Capitol building, but they crashed in a field in Shanksville, Pennsylvania. When it comes to terrorism, nowadays, the United States, the people we have captured, we have placed in custody in Guantanamo Bay, Cuba, where some people say it's unfair that they don't have a trial yet, but they are in current custody in Guantanamo Bay. And the acts put forth by the Patriot Act after 9/11 have made the United States come under question in terms of, now we can look at your bank accounts, we can seize money, we can put surveillance in your house, we can tap your phone lines, and we can grab you, snatch you, and hold you without a trial for unlimited time if we suspect you of terrorism of any sort. So with that being said, if you review your slides as well as this review, you should be able to be prepared for tomorrow's test. So good luck. We're all counting on you.